Hi, everyone.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Medicine Conclave. I'm Cynthia Crumblett.
And I'm Benjamin Moore.
We are very excited to be here representing the Sacred Synthesis this week, and this week's focus is how to work with our sacraments. It's very exciting to dive into this type of recommendation and conversation in depth with you all. But before we get started into that, we have a few things to share with you. The first being the church's mission, Benjamin.
Yeah, so the church exists in its current state to provide education, community, and access to various sacraments to help all of us expand into a deeper state of awareness, consciousness, and connection with ourselves and with nature.
Perfect. And as I mentioned, this conversation is the Medicine Conclave. Every week, someone from or someone's from the Sacred Synthesis team comes together on Thursday nights to share information with you about medicine, ceremony, energetics, and something we call a hero's dose. And the hero's dose is all about it's kind of a catch-all system where we get a little rowdy or we take information and feedback from you all that you want to hear us talk about. So I really encourage you all to fill out the survey form at the bottom of this video description that asks for your input, or you can always email us at info@thesacredsynthesis.com. And big news, we have not one, but two exciting announcements tonight. And I'm really excited to dive into those as we move through the conclave specifically. So, oh, we forgot to put our microphones on. That's funny.
Check one, two.
Maybe you can hear us a little bit better now. This is funny. Thanks, Ben.
Yep, perfect.
Okay, great. So, before we dive into everything, just want to remind you all that as a part of our support to the community, we are now hosting monthly Jaguar Light Wand ceremonies. You can work with the sacrament or choose not to and still join us.
Yep.
The August ceremony is scheduled for August 17th. If you would like to join us, please visit thesacredsynthesis.com. Go over to our events tab and you'll see Jaguar Light Wand ceremony, and you just click on that and it'll provide you all the information about what the ceremony entails, how to register and join us. This is something that's available to all members and those who register in advance. And it will be a private live stream. So if you don't want to miss the live stream, we encourage you to go ahead and register.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, tune in.
Perfect. So you ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Fantastic. Okay, so Benjamin,
Yes.
first and foremost, what are our sacraments? And then secondly, how do we work with our sacraments here
Oh, sweet.
at the Sacred Synthesis?
Well, thank you. So funny you should ask that. Yeah, so here at the church, we offer what we started with, which is psilocybin mushrooms. These are 5-MeO DMT infused in the growing medium, psilocybin mushrooms, and then we also offer 5-MeO DMT in a light wand, which is a vaporized, battery-powered vaporization device, and 5-MeO Unity Mist, which is a nasal spray. And it is these are three various medicines, sacraments that are used in each in unique ways, but also there's overlap here in the experience. And such as just like there's an overlap in the experience of life, right? All these things give us different textures that we can work with, and to raise our connection and awareness with what we're interested in doing. So, yeah. Without further ado, I guess I'll just dive right into talking about sort of each individual sacrament and how to work with them. And
do you want to, maybe it would be helpful if we talked about the compounds specifically,
yeah,
and what they are. I know a lot of people are familiar with these things that
sure.
Ben mentioned, but we're also trying to educate folks who are not familiar. And as the renaissance of working with specific psychedelics and sacraments starts to evolve, more and more people are interested in joining churches like ours and working with these sacraments. So I think that would be helpful for
great
beginners, and maybe if you are educated on what these particular compounds are, maybe you'll learn something new. If not, thanks for sticking along with us as we dive in.
Yeah, so I'll just jump right into talking about the psilocybin mushrooms. And these mushrooms are mushrooms that are in fed in the growing process 5-MeO-DMT, and that's fed into the substrate. So essentially, 5-MeO-DMT is in the tryptophan line of amino acids, and it is an endogenous compound. Tryptophan is what is used in our body, in human bodies, and in mushrooms to turn into tryptamines. So in the mushroom, it's taking tryptophan and it's turning tryptophan into psilocin or psilocybin. And 5-MeO-DMT is just a tryptamine in that chain. And so what it's doing is it's taking this medicine into its structure and trapping it essentially in its genetics. And what the mushroom does is it puts a 4-hydroxyl group onto the medicine and makes it orally available to be digested and consumed. What this medicine does is at a microdose, it is more energy body. It's I'd say akin to psilocin, however, without as as much visual or auditory effects. It does have, as far as the software that is that tests these compounds. There's a software that you can input different various compounds, and it will give you a readout of how it affects the body and where it affects the nervous system. And so this is obviously there's a lot more studies to be done, but this is affecting typically the 5-HT1A receptor, which is the same receptor that 5-MeO-DMT affects, and that modulates your parasympathetic nervous system. So rest, digest, emotional release, sort of grounded insight, expansion, and the timing on the medicine is typically 4 to 5 or 6 hours. So very similar to mushrooms, or very similar to psilocin mushrooms in that way. Higher doses, the feedback has been it's more uniform, more crystalline, more clarity, in contrast to typical psilocin or psilocybin, which can provide a very kaleidoscopic, very geometric, crystalline overlay on the experience, and then the body obviously feels released. But psilocin and psilocybin typically has an affinity for the serotonin 2A receptor, which that receptor actually modulates your sensory experience. So like light, touch, smell, all those stimulant triggers go through that system. So it's almost like a filter, if you will. And when psilocin goes into the synapse, it actually is sort of changing the signal as it's coming into your body. This is why when we take psilocin or psilocybin, can get effects of synesthesia, where you're smelling color or you're tasting sound or things like that. It's very interesting. If you've taken high doses of psilocin, you've likely experienced this. And then in a similar way, I'll just go into talking about the 5-MeO-DMT Unity Mist. And just for context, the Unity Mist, what's up?
Oh, go ahead.
Just for context, the Unity Mist and the light wands have the same compound within them. It's just the delivery vehicle is different. So the Unity Mist is a low dose nasal spray, which contains approximately 1.5 milligrams of 5-MeO per spray. And this is designed to elicit a very low scaffold effect on the experience. And I've been saying for quite a while that this, to me, just liken it to what's out here in the world. This to me is like, we can replace Spravato with this stuff. My personal opinion is that the medicine of ketamine is very sticky, and this other medicine, 5-MeO, is a much more tolerable and less habit forming medicine. And so what it does is similar to, let's say, like low dose of cilomethoxin. It's going to work in the parasympathetic nervous system. So it's really going to slow down ruminating thoughts, slow down like uh, urgent feelings of having to do something, and maybe you have this like idea that you have to deliver something by a certain time, and there's all this intensity, and it can slow that down. It can allow you to be really just okay with time as it is, and the feeling of anxiety, feeling of depression sort of goes away, kind of starts to collapse time in on the present. And so right now there's some studies that are ongoing that show really promising results around this formulation. Typical dosing curve is
Wait. I think right now the idea was to first focus on what silomethoxin is, and then focus on what is 5-MeO-DMT, and not get specifically into each of the ways in which the Unity Mist and the
oh, on the
light water
runaway
work.
train.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's totally
Yeah.
perfect. But I want to make sure that
Sure.
it's really well covered, and then we can definitely dive into the why you would want to work with the Unity Mist at one point, or maybe the
Sure.
light wand at another. So
Sure.
sorry
No,
to
thank
cut you
you.
off. You're beautiful, but
I'm just, I'm in space.
perfect. No, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So differences with, especially with 5-MeO.
Well, first, what is 5-MeO DMT?
Oh, it's tryptamine, uh, psychedelic compound, or that elicits an expanded state of awareness, expanded view, like more meta, higher doses. It is said to elicit ego dissolution, connect with unity consciousness, connection with the divine, with spirit. Um, sort of enables one to usurp. Even we talk about like a lot of the information out there in the world talks about like how it's like kill ego death and all this like interesting language around it. And for me it's like you're not killing the ego. It's like you're usurping the need to identify with the ego by expanding to a state where you can experience everything, all of time, all of creation at once. And then in that expansion it's like, oh wow, I'm everything. This is really a massive experience. And then whew, everything collapses back in on itself and you become you again. And with the new vision, with a new experience in your memory, in your body. It's a very somatic medicine. So a lot of tension, a lot of us carry stress and tension in the body, especially in the neck, middle back. If you're I'm saying like middle-aged adult, you probably have a lot of maybe middle upper back pain and tension there. Maybe it can feel like rubber bands. And this medicine at low doses can really just relieve that, like almost like dropping a load off, right? Just taking the backpack off. And at high doses, it's like full release, like there's nothing there. Your body's no longer in existence.
So describe to me what that means. Your body is no longer there.
Yeah, there's no longer the ability to identify with the physical structure, the physical form of you. So I said earlier, like you sort of usurp the ego. Well, the ego is like how you identify with this, with the arms and the legs and all that. Like if we close our eyes, you sort of have a shape or an identity of a shape in your mind of maybe how your body looks or how some other bodies look. And there's a going beyond that.
So it's like becoming like light or energy, or just maybe like pure awareness in some sort,
Yeah,
rather than I am this body here. I am
beyond I am.
beyond I am. The
Yeah,
great I am.
yeah, the
Okay.
great I am.
Okay.
Exactly,
The
exactly.
reason I'm asking you these questions is because I really hope to provide more concrete, deeper understanding for folks
Hmm.
who are moving into this space, like I said, or for those who have been working with the silomethoxin, but not specifically with um, 5-MeO,
Yeah,
and,
thank
and
you.
want to
Yeah,
move
thank you
into
for
it.
bringing that into
Hmm.
this conversation. It's really really key. I kind of sometimes get
It's
lofty.
perfect. So beyond the deep relaxation, what does that mean? What's going on? The nervous system is being?
Yeah. So, I'll reference the great book. Um,
No.
so the body keeps a score. It's a great book. If you haven't read it, there's Cliff Notes version of it. It gives a really good understanding that the experience of life is tracked in the body. We used to think that the brain is holding on to all this information, and really the brain is like the nerve center where the information's fed, and then we're experiencing it. And sometimes our memories come through that way, but those are things that are like more created as patterns. Now, um, physical physical manifestations of trauma is really it's really how we store it. So like events that we have experienced in our life that are even good events, not differentiating, but just like we'll say like transformational events are stored in the body, in the fascia, in the bones, in the muscle. And so um, different triggers in life trigger a chemical response that the body literally sends the signals to the brain, and then the brain activates, and then the memories happen, or then the fight or flight happens, or whatever the programming or
Mm.
the patterning is for that sensation. It basically unfolds. And so this medicine um, goes in and can kind of cut away at the connection that the body has and soften the, the nervous system response to that trigger. So whereas you may have been in, let's say, a car accident, and driving in cars can create a lot of tension, and perhaps you rear-ended someone, and so now when you see brake lights, or someone rear-ended you and you see brake lights, there's like, oh my god, like it can create stress. Now, when working with this medicine, if you know it's not a one and done, right? Just like in nothing, it's no one and done. But working with this over time, softening the nervous system, will allow you to have the thought and the memory of like, oh, this was something that happened, but the body doesn't respond. And what happens when the body responds, that's where stress comes from, because the body's creating this nervous system activation even though nothing's happening, and then it's stored, right? It gets put away, and then it happens again and again, and then eventually you have knots in your back, or other places in the body. So over time the softness comes, and then the memory is less triggering on the body and more just like a scene in a movie or a book.
Got it. So maybe just a breakdown of the difference. Like you kind of shared the difference of all three, but
Mhm.
maybe you can give a summary
Yeah.
of like, obviously the church is at this time, we're not working with the sacrament of psilocybin, psilocin at this point, but
Mhm.
it is a part of what makes up the
Yeah.
psilomethoxin. So perhaps give that high level
Yeah.
breakdown, and then we'll move
Sure.
on.
Well, yeah, like psilocin can, like medium or higher doses, sort of overwhelm the senses and give a visual. It really works more in the visual cortex. Give a visual catharsis, emotional catharsis to the experience. Can sort of like um, like rewriting the visual memories, rewriting the code.
And it's
Um,
a part of identity exploration sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you can sort of, because there's a lot of texture there,
I see.
so you can really identify with what's going on. Like, oh, this is my story, or this is a really scary thing. I had a lot of visual catharsis around my life, my mom who passed away, my friends who have lost. So it allowed me to see and process those things as happy memories, instead of like, wow, I lost this person. It was more like, wow, I had a lot of joy with this person.
Great.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Beautiful.
And then with 5-MeO DMT, I sort of alluded to it earlier. It's like allows us to usurp the ego.
Yeah. Non-duality.
Yeah, exactly. Sort
Hmm.
of become the like a whole, like a sphere.
Yeah. And my experience with it is a very deep surrender. It's like at lower dosage, I have a very specific thing that happens with my body as I am unwinding, is what it feels like to me. I'm like unwinding, 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 and it's just a surrender into that. And at the end, it just feels like complete melted state of relaxation. So I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then cylomethoxin is a sort of a blended effect.
Yeah. So what we notice, uh, because we are growing this medicine in um, psilocybe mushrooms. So these are like psilocybin producing mushrooms. There's still some psilocin or psilocybin effects inside of the mushroom. This is still a present compound. So you kind of get a blended effect here where there is some visual component, let's say asymmetrical, like mushrooms can be, and more, I say, like more uniform, and but also expansive and transformational in a similar way. Really can bring a lot of release on the body in the soma, but also bring a visual, like a visual component at higher doses. So, yeah.
Beautiful. And then I guess maybe we should tell everyone why we choose to work with these particular sacraments here at the church.
Yeah, sure.
And then we'll dive into how to work with them in a beautiful way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So, well, yeah, well, so exactly. So, we're having a little fun over here. Um, yeah, so these sacraments, I like to offer that these aren't necessarily a coping mechanism or a tool for escape. These are more tools for exploration and expansion.
Yeah.
And it's like, what does that mean? I believe all of us, we've arrived here in the present with a collection of our story, whatever it is, and we're all operating at a place wherever, in this scheme of life. Some
Yeah.
can be here, some can
Mhm.
be here, somewhere on this path. And these sacraments can be a tool for us to explore and expand what it means to be us, to be a human, and what happens as a side effect is during this exploration there is traumas and other things that maybe were attached to us that sort of just start to fall away. They become less important for us to, like, I need to go in there and fix this trauma
Yeah. So the
or
trauma
this.
imprinting and the behaviors alongside it might start to
Fade.
fade away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. Because, I think this is what I've noticed, and what feedback we get from people is like, um, yeah, this is more of a, I would say, more or less, these these experiences help us to just acknowledge that these things were a part of us, but they're not necessarily emotionally, uh, they don't have to be emotionally attached to us any longer.
Right. And that's
So
coming through obviously working with the sacraments, increasing neuroplasticity, which allows for more easeful, I'll say easeful potentially, or just allows for emotional and behavioral change.
yeah, like
Yeah.
repatterning, creating new and useful patterns in one's life, bringing in things that we wish to have, feelings we wish to have, experiences we wish to have, really softens these old patterns, which, that's one of the main, I'll say, main components of this.
Yeah, and kind of like the cascading effect that I've noticed in myself and with others through these journeys is that um, as the nervous system and the parasympathetic activation kind of occurs and we're calming down or getting away from these trauma imprints, there seems to be a deeper connection to life purpose. Potentially, you can become more embodied. And what I mean by that, and as a somatic practitioner, it means you're less in your head and your thoughts, and you're more feeling and listening to the sensations in your body. You're more here in this now moment rather than potentially disassociating with this something that I didn't even know I did until I realized I was healing from it. So these are really beautiful ways to go into a more embodied state and find clarity within yourself, which I believe enables us to have deeper levels of clarity within the relationships all around us, not just with a beloved one or like a romantic partner, but with our children, with our parents, with our siblings, friends,
Ourselves,
colleagues,
yeah.
people out,
Hmm.
everywhere, right? And I appreciate being able to go into these altered states at higher doses that allow for personal and spiritual insight. And I've noticed that people tend to deepen into their spirituality, and we are a non-dogmatic church. So it's really exciting to hear how folks are working with the sacraments and coming into a deeper connection in whatever way you want to define it. So yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Hmm.
So let's dive into the formatting of these particular
Yeah.
sacraments.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, psilocybin is grown in mushrooms, so those are offered available just like I say any other mushroom is a powder or in a capsule, a microdose capsule, and yeah, taken as one wishes. We, you know, depending on what is needed. Some individuals we have some individuals that we work with at higher doses as well, and they seem to get really amazing results from that. So they have a desire to use the powder in that way to yeah, to connect with a altered state, a higher altered state in that with that medicine specifically. And then with 5-MeO, it's offered in a Unity mist, a nasal spray, and a light wand, which is it's like a vaporized cartridge. Um, and so the nasal spray is a I like to use it for like scaffolding and ceremony. It's a low dose sort of entry point, and at a low dose, it creates like really good scaffolding.
Yeah. So, if I'm just working with the Unity Mist
Mhm.
on its own,
Yeah.
how is that different than working with the light wand?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that
Yeah.
question. So yeah, the Unity Mist, because it's deployed in the nasal passage, and it is absorbed by the mucous membranes. It has a lower and slower absorption rate. So it can be the effects will last typically between 60 and maybe 90 minutes. Um, and you can dose it higher as one wishes, but really yeah. So and then with the light wand, it is a much quicker entry and exit. So 10 to 15 minutes is the experience. I mean, really in the peak experience from between 5 and 10 minutes, and then at 15 minutes you're starting to land. It's a much shorter acute experience, and um, yeah. So and then dosing is really as per user. These are designed to have a low entry point, so it's microdose to begin.
That's
And
where the low 5 comes from for those who are
exactly,
curious.
exactly. So yeah, so you can low dose to as a good nice entry point to get scaffolding, and you can even just stay there, right? And
When you
then
say scaffolding, what do you mean?
yeah, like a support structure, like a structure that can provide a stable platform from which to launch even deeper from, if that's something that you choose.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you're talking about titrating up. So with
Yeah,
the Unity
exactly.
Mist and with the light wand, you can, as you said, dose up or titrate up
Yep.
in the experience. Which what that means is you're going to have a bigger, more than likely, a bigger response, right? With the sacraments.
Yeah.
How would
Well,
you describe that?
if you're climbing, yeah. So the way I like to work with the light one especially is go in a nice low dose, 4 or 5 seconds.
4 or 5 second inhale is what he's
Yeah,
referring to.
exactly. And just stay here for a while, right? Just like it's like creating a foundation in the energy body where if you're in the meditation and you can just start feeling that stability and that energy level, and then you can kind of take another in and keep going up, right?
Another what?
Take another draw in,
Okay.
and you can keep going up as it feels good. Um, and then you can get to the point where you're like, ooh, wow, this is a lot. I like it here. I'm going to stay here. And then at this point, you can create time separation, right? So you can just space out the draws, but stay in that level if that's something that you choose to do.
Got it.
Yeah.
So there might be some of you who are observing this live or on the replay who have acquired the sacraments and have received an informational pamphlet that comes along with those. And in those pamphlets, they include some information based on your draw or your inhale time. What is the general amount of medicine that comes through at that point in time? And then the same thing with the nasal mist. So personally, I think some people might want to work with the light wand if you are perhaps short on time and you want to have an abbreviated version. And like Ben said, like climb up, go into the space, maybe stay there for a little bit of time and then come back down. And we really encourage as you are beginning to work with the sacraments, like anything else, start low and slow and really learn the energetics of these sacraments and what they wish to show you. And of course, we can approach them with intentions and other things. I think that's beautiful in any aspect of life. But also, no, you don't have to just go in and totally blast yourself off to have an experience. And there's been really, since launching these sacraments in June, we've gotten some really great feedback on a variety of ways in which members are working with them. And it's really exciting to hear how some people are working with them once a week, some are working with the light one specifically just a little bit each day in the morning, and it's getting really good directive on life choices. So these are beautiful tools of sorts to work with. And as Ben said in the beginning, not to have just to chase an experience, but see how we can biohack ourselves with the use of these amazing sacraments. And Ben has alluded to working with them in a teammate type of way, particularly like first using the unity mist to kind of set your grounded base of where you'd like to be and stay in that energetics for a while, and then know that if you want to go up into a even more energetic space, you can work with the light wand to go up, and then know that you won't be there for a long period of time. You can come back down. Or if you wanted to work with just the unity mist and you have a longer amount of time, potentially you could set aside your morning, your evening, whenever feels good to you, and go into a deeper or a longer meditation. I'll say it that way, longer, because both of them can give you great levels of depth of connection and experience. And same with the psilocybin, but because right now we're talking specifically about the 5-MeO, I wanted to just insert my little stamp there of feedback and opinion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So, is it time?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah. So, we're really excited. First of all, I just want to thank everyone who's been tuning in, who's been emailing, who's been connecting, who's been encouraging the church and all of these things that we've been bringing forward. It's a very busy and exciting time. So, greatly appreciate all of you. Yes, and we're so excited for new announcements. Yay. So yay. So we have one that we're going to announce now. And then at the end of the conclave, we have a very big announcement that we hope that you'll tune into. So this first one is talking about the whisper in Ben's ear. Go for it. You go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so we're gonna be launching a.
We are launching. Mm-hmm.
Well, we are launching. Yeah. So we have a 30-day protocol that we're going to be starting September 7th, which is going to be a group experience that we're inviting all the members in who desire to be a part of this. And it's going to kick off with a meditation ceremony like we've been doing.
Meditation, medicine ceremony, sacrament ceremony.
Yeah, exactly. So like we've been doing for the past few months, we're going to kick it off with that. And then we're going to bring in the use of the unity mist and the microdosing. So it's going to be a 30-day experience where we'll have some weekly journaling prompts, some calls. So during week 1, it's going to be, again, a ceremony to sort of kick it off. And then it'll be 5 days of microdosing or 6 days of microdosing. And during that first week, we'll have a group call where we're creating structure, and we're creating intention. Well, maybe we'll do that before. So there's some nuance that
anyway, I'm going to share the information because Ben is getting a little jumbled in the woods here, which is perfect. He's been talking a lot tonight, so thank you for taking the lead on so much. But essentially, we're launching, sharing with you something called, what Ben was talking about, the 30-day protocol, which we're going to give you the higher viewpoint of tonight of how you could do this yourself, but also let you know that we are going to be doing a supported practice that begins September 7th. And with this, we are launching what we're calling the Sacred Bundle. And the Sacred Bundle is available on our site, and you can acquire it if you so choose. But it is the Unity Mist, the Jaguar Light Wand, and 30-day capsules of psilocybin. And we are going to integrate those together in this beautiful supported protocol where, like Ben said, day one kicking off with a virtual ceremony, and then providing support, journal prompts, etc., with calls throughout the entire 30-day experience. This is something that if you want to be a part of the supported group container, we are going to continue to talk about, but you can go to the Sacred Synthesis Facebook page and you can apply to join, and we'll go in and approve your application. And then it's within that container that we are going to be sharing this information, chatting with you all, and then talking about where the conversations need to arise as far as providing support. And with that Sacred Bundle, we're also including a really fun Enlightened Toad journal. And the Enlightened Toad journal is there for you to utilize as a tool to document your experience throughout that period of time. So we're really excited about that. And before we give you our other announcement, I would love for Ben to kind of give us an overview of people of how they can work with these sacraments in a 30-day window.
What do you mean?
So sharing like an overview of if someone's going to work with these sacraments in a 30-day way on their own, what would be the general synopsis of how you would recommend that they do so?
Oh, well, so if you're going to be microdosing, you can microdose daily. You don't have to refrain, or there doesn't have to be any space between days with microdosing. So we'll get a 30-day capsule pack where you can be taking a microdose every day. And then on weekends, ideally it'd be like every week, you would work with some Unity Mist as a scaffolding, maybe one or two sprays, and then work with the light wand to deepen to a meditation. Ideally, you would set aside a minimum of an hour, 90 minutes, ideally, and go into space where you have a safe container, able to kind of go in a middle dose. So this isn't designed to take you and blast you off and complete ego dissolution. This is designed to enable you to work with yourself, work with what you have, who you are, and get some insights, get some guidance from your your spiritual self, your bigger self. And then, yeah, doing this weekly for 30 days. And throughout the experience, you would want to be journaling. So just a few, say like a few, doesn't have to be a lot if you don't typically write. This is just a good opportunity to bring in, what you've experienced, what you're seeing, and then some intention. So before you go into the experience, always important to have a general focus of direction or intention. The It can be specific or broad. It's totally up to you. But you want to have some sort of context around the path you're looking to move. And yeah, and just feeling into the medicine and how it's affecting you. And yeah, you can. Yeah, and then after week 4, or yeah, week 4.5, I guess, is that lads ends at 30 days, and that's when a good time to download everything, right? Kind of do a recap of the whole experience.
And the reason that we're starting with the ceremony to begin with and encourage you all to do that is because this is kind of opening up your neuroplasticity and allowing you to step into the opportunity to clear out some channels, create some new ones, and then by doing the microdosing, that encourages the continuation of the reformation of those pathways and expansion. So Totally encourage you all, if it feels nourishing to get started, go ahead. You can find the Sacred Bundle, like I said, on the church page. But I would love to have you join us starting September 7th. It's going to be a pretty obtuse support system for that period of time. And we're excited to connect more deeply. And our goal is to connect more and more with membership, and really get to know your faces, your voices, and your expansive stories and unfolding of events. So just encourage you to join that. If you are not a member of the Church of the Sacred Synthesis, please join as a member. You can do that at our website. And this will ensure that you get all of our emails. We send out some regularly that are educational, informational, and invitations to join us in a myriad of ways. And this is where we're going to be really sending out the information to invite you all into this particular uh, container, first of its kind, really, in working with all these sacraments and in a really structured, organized, and supported way.
Mm-hmm.
So, at that, my friends, our big news, our very big news. We don't have we need like a bell or a drum or something.
Have a drum.
Get a drum, the djembe drum. Yeah, I'm really excited to share this information with you all. Before I even had the honor of joining the church, I've heard that this was a request.
You see it?
I'm talking.
Oh, whoops.
That this was something that a lot of members have been asking for, and we've been kicking around for quite a while. And as we focus on what the mission of the church is, which one of the mission is to support you all, provide access to sacrament, to provide more support and connection and community, we thought that this would be an amazing way to really honor the commitment of our mission, what we stand for, and to continue to offer support and access to these sacraments in a way that we think you all will really like. So, drum roll, Benjamin.
Oh.
Let them know.
Yeah, we've revised all the pricing. We're bringing pricing down, access, really wanting to, just make it more accessible. Accessible.
Yeah. So if you go to the website and you check out our shop, our marketplace, you're going to see that all of your favorite sacraments, simulthoxin capsules and powders, have been significantly decreased in their donation, and we are going to be adding different in the near future, different measurement amounts. So if you've been acquiring the powder and you've only been buying the one measurement that we've had available, we're actually going to open up different measurement amounts for you all. Same with the capsules, just to continue to support what some people have been asking and needing. And our kitty cat is here to celebrate as well. Hello. So we hope that you're very excited about this news. We are super excited to share this with you and continue to evolve, grow, expand, and get more deeply connected to the unity that is all of us together, working hand in hand in our individual fractal ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to share about this happy note?
Thank you all for continuing to be a member and be committed to this path of self exploration. It's such a beautiful opportunity in life, and I say this a lot. It's like this is such an amazing time to be alive, to be present here, and be in this like sort of transformational paradigm of existence where sometimes it seems like there's so much going on, and there's so many problems, etc. But I don't know that there's been a better time on Earth than now. Even though we see there's there's tragedy and there's stuff, but I think there's less now than there's been. So just it's nice to know that we have the opportunity to have discovered that this planet has given us these tools to use to help us usurp those those feelings of angst and those feelings of helplessness, or etc. And so thank you so much for being committed to that. Thanks you once again, and to yourself. This I remember so long ago, starting all this, like thinking about, and I'm sure that people still talk about this. If just 1% of people decided that they wanted to increase the quality of their own life and the life of those around them, the whole planet would shift, and it would cascade into this revolution of beauty and light. And so my goal is to continue to bring forward tools and education and um, connection for all of us, and for men and women who serve and who have not had the support that they deserve, um, and our service members at home, our first responders and our frontline workers, um, uh, doctors, nurses, and everyone really, teachers, all of
I mean,
us,
truly, everyone's
everyone.
carrying a backpack of some sort.
That's
So,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, we just want to encourage you all to continue to pour into your own beautiful cup, your vessel, your temple that is your body, your mind, your spirit, and just know that that's not selfish in any way. It's actually the greatest gift for those around you. So, the more that we all can lean into self love, self acceptance, self expansion, the greater grace we can allow for those around us, and encouragement we can provide to them as well, and love them even more fully as we love ourselves. So, with that, I'm really excited about this news. We hope you all are too.
Yep.
Next week, we'll be back. Carla and I will be here talking on the Heroes Dose Conclave about entities.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So it's going to be a fun conversation for sure. If you know Carla, you know it'll be a good time, and I'm excited to dive into that concept with her. And just a reminder that we are available to connect with you. Please send us any information, questions, etc. at info@sacredsynthesis.com, or you can, like I mentioned in the beginning, fill out the survey that's or the feedback survey, excuse me, that's at the bottom of the description of this video. And
yeah,
please,
we want your feedback.
Yeah, definitely.
That will help us shape everything, not just the conclaves, but tell us your wishes. We're here to serve. So
beautiful. And if you can, join us on August 17th for our next Jaguar Light Wand ceremony. It will be a beautiful virtually held container. And until next time, thanks you all.
Toodaloo.
Bye.